Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And we've had some devastating news that AMAD Diallo is effectively out for the rest of the season. He's done something in his ankle, apparently, his ligaments or something along the lines of that. It's going to keep him out to 3 to 4 months. We also have doubts over Mainoo Ugarte and Mainoo for the Tottenham game. Reports suggesting that Mainoo could be out for a couple of weeks as well. The trains have been cancelled, so United are having to travel down to London via coach. It just seems like a rush of bad news today, Sam.
Yeah. On top of that, I think Collier's a doubt as well. So even like the backup midfielder isn't available. We've had Leacher out for the season as well.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was wondering why all the way through the season, it's like we've gotten away with like being quite injury free for a bit. Like,
did we curse it yesterday? Is that what we've done?
Maybe. Now it's like buses in it. You wait for one for ages, and now there's like three come along at once. Mainoo, Ugarte, and AMAD, and then Leach is already out. So it's just it's probably of all the players that you want. Okay, they're going to be out for the season. There was maybe 3 that you didn't want to happen, and we've had 2 of them happen in Leacher and AMAD.
Yeah,
you're just like, for fuck's sake, man. Like this is if it was already difficult, it's going to get even more difficult because where's our goal threat coming from now? Like, where are we going to create something from? Because AMAD was the only outlet, and I don't see where it comes from now.
Well, I thought what the telling thing for me was in the press conference yesterday. If you looked at Amarin, and I put it on Twitter as well, he looked drained, man. He looked like just fucked, and he must know. He must have obviously he knows all the injuries and everything that's gone on at United. He must be looking at it thinking, what squad am I going to field tomorrow? And obviously, look, Postecoglou is not going to have any sympathy because they've got injuries, as many, if not more, injuries. So I'm not looking for any sympathy from any other fans. But we was literally talking about yesterday how we've been quite good. It's not like how it was under Ten Hag, but all of our important players are missing now. And then you see Rashford come on for Villa today, which I'm not suggesting we shouldn't have sent him out because that had to be done. And you're like, this is where these players could have come in. That 1v1 kind of pace. Yeah. We don't have anyone else like that, do we?
No, but that was the thing in January. It was like we let 2 forwards go in Anthony and Rashford. Now, Anthony was terrible at United. We could all accept that. So there was no point in keeping him because he wasn't offering anything. Rashford, I mean, it's up to you guys, like whoever's watching. Like, if you think we should have kept him, fair enough, but in my opinion, we shouldn't because his attitude, he didn't want to be here, so I think it was best for him to go. But to not replace them and bring a forward in, I think was a massive mistake, huge mistake. Obviously, we didn't want to overpay and pay the stupid deal that Spurs have done for Matthias Tell, but could we have done a deal somewhere along those lines and brought a forward in? Because then the AMAD blow that happened today, and I think we said it on a show once, like if something happens to Bruno or AMAD this season, we're fucked. Yeah. And now it's happened, and we've not brought forward.
Now we're fucked.
Yeah. And it's now basically I saw Academy Scoop said Seka Kone, Chido Obi-Martin, Harry Amas, and there was one more as well that have gone with the squad today to London. But the Carrington's going to have to produce something, man, because we've got nobody else. We've got nobody else.
And it's not fair on them, to be honest. Look, they'll be relishing the opportunity, I'm sure. They'll be looking forward to it. Be like, Marcus Rashford took his opportunity when all those other players were injured. It's happened sometimes. One year, you look at him for Arsenal in a minute, thriving where Saka plays. It does happen, I get it. But, I mean, relying on them in a team that's really inconsistent and unstable at the moment is...
In a shit season as well.
Yeah, it's a struggle, innit? It's a real struggle,
It's not like Arsenal where, you can dictate whether they're in a title race or not, but they're towards the top of the table. Like, they're the closest things to challenging Liverpool. They're in the Champions League. So, like, it's a better season so far than United are having, where we're at the 13th in the table. We're scrapping for that, and then we're in the FA Cup and Europa League. So, it's a bit of a different situation for Chido Obi-Martin. Like, I know we got him from Arsenal, but say he's coming into the Arsenal team now, it's a lot better environment than it is to come into the United team right now. And it's a lot, and I don't want to see them come in. Obviously, we're gonna have to use him because we don't have anybody else. So that's what your academy's for. But they're gonna come in, and there's gonna be some expectation from certain fans for them to deliver. And I think that's really unfair because under 18s level is a whole different level to men's football. Like they've not even played in the under-21s, I don't think yet, both of them. So it's a whole other level. So I hope that no pressure is put on them by our fans and people who like watch them. If they don't play well, like I don't want to see the abuse and the sort of going, this shit. Why would like I don't want to see that because, like you said, it's unfair to put this pressure on them right now.
Yeah, missing AMAD quite literally is our best player and our most, biggest threat. Despite I know he had a poor game, let's say, or an average game by his standards against Leicester, but he was still the only one who would pick it up and drive at the man. And we don't have no way. And when you don't have players that do that, everything becomes fucking stale and horrible. Now I just watched Mainoo score a hat trick for Man City.
In 14 minutes.
In 14 minutes, who's just come in the January window, where they're about 15, 20 points ahead of us, by the way. Like, this is the thing that really annoys me. And I'm not gonna throw it at Ineos, because we know Ineos have took over a shit show. It's on the Glazers. Because they ran the club so badly. We're now in a situation where we can't go and get someone. And people say, oh, well, you spent all this money or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, teams still, look, these things happen, and you still need to go and bring a player in. Even if it's a loan man, like that. That's why I was saying about this, Mateus Tell. How can you let 2 attackers go and not bring in one? It's fucking criminal, that. It actually is. Because now, like, I know our season's shit anyway, Sam, but you still got an FA Cup and a Europa League there. And we shown literally last year that we could be as shit as you want, but we could still win trophies. So not having AMAD now and not having Leach for the rest of the season, that takes it down by a good 10, 15% for me. Well, easy.
However long Kobbie Mainoo's out, if he's out for weeks, like that's another blow as well. Because I know he's not been up to it in like the last sort of this season, but I thought when he played in the 10 position in Europe, he was good. Yeah, I thought he offered a lot, and then obviously we put him up front, which didn't work, and I thought it was a mistake, but like we tried it. So I think that's another blow as well on top of that, and I just think like to not recruit in the January. I know our Ineos hands were tied, like you said, by years of neglect by the Glazers, and
you could have done a loan though, couldn't they?
Yeah, but it was the same under Ten Hag. You remember in January, it's like he needed a forward to kick on, and he would get Weghorst. Yeah, like I know, like I love Wout Weghorst, I do, but he's not the guy to come in and score 15 goals for you to push you up or get you into a thing. Like he's not, and you look at that and it's just like continuously in January we only buy if it's an absolute panic station like a Bruno Fernandes, or we get a loan in, and it's just it's cost us now. That's literally cost us, because they must have thought, oh, we'll have to just sort of do what we can with this season left to salvage, and now your best player's out. So
if this is the problem, what's the solution? That's my question to everyone just joining us now. Amad Diallo is out for the rest of the season with an ankle ligament injury. I believe we also have Kobbie Mainoo, who's out for a couple of weeks. In fact, for people just joining us, put it on the screen what we're discussing, just so it's easier for you guys. Injury doubts, youth being promoted. I want to talk a little bit more about a couple of the youngsters coming into the team in a second. But before I do that, I'm just going to go to the comments. Please do smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel for us. Mr. Potish 5000 says, here we go, fellas. Hold on for the ride. Amarin sacked before May. Like I said, we are finished. I won't go that far, but it's not great. Elite Baller, hi Nam, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications, big up the lads. Thank you very much, Elite. The career mode journey says, did you see CR7 plane land at Manchester? Absolutely no, that was random. Pat mate, forget Rashford. I'd play one of the younger boys. Rashford basically said he doesn't want to play for United again. I get it. There is this urge from the fan base to just go with the lads, go with the youngsters, and that's what you could you not cause as much damage by doing that? Do you know what I mean?
No, but like I agree, because we should have brought in an experienced forward. Like that's what should have happened in January. So because we're now in a position where we have no choice but to trust Chido Obi. Sorry, I keep saying Martin. He wants to be known as Chido
Obi.
Yeah. Apologies if you're watching Chido. Like apologies. We're gonna have to rely on him because we don't have a choice. Like he's literally our only option. Like I think Wheatley's gone on loan, hasn't he? Hugo's gone on loan. Was there another Charlie McNeil? Did we release him? Is he gone?
Yeah, I think he's gone.
To him. So we don't have anybody else. Like it's literally him, or we play Mainoo up front, or we play Bruno up front in a false nine. That's the choice we have at this point. So I know people say, "Oh, don't chuck him in now," but that's the two choices. You play one of these in a false nine, or you play the young lad. that's all we've got.
Mm. Well, we've got Jack Morehouse, who will be travelling with the squad as well.
Oh, yeah, that was the other one I forgot about.
Yeah, he's a midfielder. But to throw him in a game of this magnitude against Tottenham, it's just tough, isn't it? Do you think are we going to go with a fucking Casemiro, Eriksen midfield or something? I mean, I can't see that.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Oh, my goodness me.
That we saw what happened against Newcastle when that was like, you can't do that again. If we're gonna do it, it has to be Bruno and Casemiro, I think, in the pivot, and then you put Eriksen in one of the 10s if you're gonna play him.
Yeah,
that's how it's got to be. You cannot play Casemiro and Eriksen together. Like, you can't.
To be fair, I said before that we haven't got that person who can run direct 1v. Obviously, we've got Garnacho who completely. I don't know why that didn't slip my mind. We've got him, so it's not as bad in terms of having that pace. He's definitely going to start for sure.
Yeah.
But then it's maybe he does bring in a Xerxes and have. I don't know, because then you got a wing back thing again, aren't you?
Yeah.
Who are you going to play at wing back?
So it's probably going to be Dallo and Dorgu, isn't it? That's probably going to be your wing backs now, because Ahmad's not going to be able to play there. So it'd be Dallo and Dorgu, and then he's not going to chuck Sekou Kone or Jack Morehouse in starting.
I don't think
if he
so.
does, fucking Christ. But I don't see that happening. So it's going to be probably Bruno Casemiro, which again is. You're looking at Casemiro. I know he's a professional. I know he's not going to think, but he's basically not played him all season.
Yeah.
And not even brought him off the bench hardly. And now he's going, yeah, you're going to start, mate.
Yeah.
Like, what's his motivation now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, it's tricky, man. It's a tricky situation now.
If I see Eriksen in that midfield, I'm going to fucking throw up, genuinely. Yeah. I really don't want to see him in there. He's okay in the 10, but...
In the 10, that's it. Like, he can't play anywhere else. Like, if he's not playing in the 10, he should be on the pitch.
Yeah, I keep seeing things here saying United's recruitment team are relaxed about the prospect of ending the transfer window without signing a striker. I'm not relaxed. I'm not fucking relaxed. Because you look at the Premier League table at the minute. Obviously, we've had games going on that have been on. Your City beating Newcastle, Villa drawing with Ipswich. Fucking after Ipswich getting a red card, which is like mental.
Fanzabi, wasn't it? Former red.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're 13th in the league. Is around 14 games left, I think. 29 points. So 11 points still safe there, would typically Tottenham just 2 points behind us. Everton play kick-off in 10 minutes, and if they win, they go above us in the table. Would you believe it? Yeah. So we have a real, genuine opportunity here tomorrow. Just sink this in for a second. For Everton to go above us and permanently stay above us for now. Tottenham to go above us, and we drop down to 15th, 16th in the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that is fucking worrying. With the injuries that we've got as well, no window to save your ass. This is it now. This is the squad that you've got to go with.
Yep. And you may well get more injuries as the season goes on. So you might have to bring even more academy people in. That Aiden Heaven might have to starting if we lose a centre-back. So... that's where we're at in the squad. I've just seen Manchester United explored expected assist percentage under Ruben Amorim, 13 games. Guess who's at the top?
Expected what? Assists? AMAD.
Yeah. By a long fucking way. So he's at 28%, and then the next one down is Bruno at 18%.
Yeah, I think I read something like 9 goals and 7 assists AMAD's got.
Yeah.
It's a massive miss. I mean, Postecoglou will be looking at that and rubbing his hands together because you think that midfield, if I deploy, I don't know who he's got, if Basuma and Sarr is available, but if I deploy them in there, they're going to fucking run rings around him.
That.
Absolute rings around him.
Kulusevski is just going to stride his way through, and his way through that midfield.
So what would you do in the manager's shoes now, Sam? Do you sprinkle a little bit of Carrington in there, or do you just go with experienced players and have them on the bench?
I wouldn't chuck him in because I just think it's unfair. It's just it's panic stations in it, and you're chucking things in to see what works. So he's probably going to go experienced, like Casemiro. I think it has to be Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield. It has to be, it can't be Eriksen. So I think that's probably what he's going to go with. But down the line, how long can you play that midfield for? How long is Mainoo out? He said a couple of weeks. Is that a month? Is that 2 weeks? I don't know what that is. He's picked up
a few injuries, hasn't he, Mainoo?
Yeah.
You noticed?
Yeah, so that's a consideration. I know Collier's a doubt. for Spurs. So hopefully he's just out for that one game and we can get him back, because I think he's been solid when he's played. So that'll be a consideration. But yeah, it has to be Bruno and Casemiro for me. If I was a manager, that's what I'd do. I think to throw Sekou Kone in or Jack Morehouse at this point is negligent, bordering on insanity. Just because I know they're tearing it up at under 18s level. I know it is, but it's so much different in the Premier League with men. Like, it's so different. Like, people don't realise the step
pressure
up.
as well. Like, the Bergvall in the midfield, it looks decent. Basuma, Sarr, proper runners, athletic runners who will just, it could really, really damage him. If I'm hammering at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm like, look, Spurs are an attacking team anyway. Yeah. Maybe defend deep if we need to, but bring on your Maguire's, De Ligts in the back line, bring on Casemiro's and kind of shrink it up, and then you're gonna have to be relying on your Garnacho, Højlund, Bruno, which is reverting to type a little bit with a counter-attacking game. But I don't think playing the way we're playing exactly. I think he absolutely has to adapt the game tomorrow, because I don't think you get a win there. Despite I know Tottenham have been really, really shit. I know they've been awful, but I think I don't think we've got an opportunity of winning there tomorrow without those players. Genuinely, I think it's gonna be really tough.
Dorgu's gonna have to step up big time. Like, he's gonna have to sort of put a shift in and do some work. He's like, if he's playing on the left, which I hope he is, he's gonna have to put some work in, because our creativity is basically now gone with AMAD out of the team. He's gonna have to provide some stuff from that left hand side and just hope that he can sort of put a ball in the box that either Xerxes or Garnacho can get on the end of, or somebody can get the end of and get a goal or two. Because, I don't know. I really don't know anymore. It's when it rains, it fucking pours, doesn't it?
Really I should have put that on the title of the on the thing. It really, really does, which is ironic because it's Manchester United. But maybe it is time for one of the lads to step up. Maybe it is time for one of the youngsters to, show what they're about. I hope it is. I hope we start with maybe a bit of a pragmatic team. And then we're like, okay.
And then the last 15 minutes, chuck
Chibo,
Cheeto, and then just go, lads. It doesn't matter, win or lose. Just go out and do something. Like, try what you're good at, and just see what happens, because we've seen it happen. So many kids have come through the academy and they've been given opportunities and they've stood up. Marcus Rashford, we touched on, Federico Makeda, Adnan Januzaj. Some of them are not still at the club, or some of them never made it into the first team, but they came on and made an impact. And that well could be one of these kids. So hopefully. But I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen on tomorrow now. I really don't.
Well, we're 12 points off relegation. So if we lose tomorrow, we go 9 points just above. You're lucky you've not got a lot. There's still 14 games left, but I'm just looking at the games going forward who we're playing. We've got Everton at Goodison Park after Tottenham. We've got Ipswich at home. We drew with, obviously, prior to then. They just drew with Aston Villa. We've got Fulham, then Arsenal. Oh, God. This is going to get sticky, man. It really, really is. Right, back to the comments. Sorry, people. Opening the room, devastating news. That's from Darryl Tolhurst.
Fair enough.
Spurs 4-0 incoming from Mr. Potters 5,000. Connor Atkinson, oh shit, just when you think the season couldn't get any worse. I know, it's devastating, isn't it? I'm actually absolutely gutted. I honestly am. I don't know what else to say about it, to be fair. I think this is, you just gotta fucking stick together now and hope for the best. Yeah, have your predictions changed now slightly, Sam, for tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Is that our only source of creativity and goals is now not, there goes my light, as if on cue.
And when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Like, he's our only sense of, like, goals and assists. As I've just said, 28% of our expected assists come through AMAD, and he's not on the pitch anymore. So we were already struggling for goals. Where the fuck did it come from now? Like, that's going to be a big question. Yeah,
it's bizarre, isn't it? Because when we sat down at the start of the season, we all sat there collectively, me, you, when we all did the big season review. And we looked at the team, we looked at the recruitment over the summer, we looked at Ashworth coming in, we looked at all these things. And we was like, there's a real chance here to bring some positivity and energy you know, and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if your mic's gone off, by the way, but I couldn't hear you then.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Bring all this stuff and this happiness, and then it's just gone really, really, really the opposite direction on it, Sam. This season has been even more catastrophic than last season. I couldn't picture that at all. It's crazy how bad it's been, isn't it?
Yeah, after last season, like every season, we just seem to top ourselves in terms of how shit it can be.
Yeah.
Because under Ragnick, that last 6 months, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen at Manchester United.
Yeah.
That last 6 months of Ragnick, I was like, I cannot believe how bad this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is fucking abysmal. And then the first season of Ten Hag, there was like, all right, we fell off towards the end, but most of the part, finished third trophy, be like, okay, like there's something to build on. And then the second season, Jesus Christ, like just utter shite for the entire season. And then we got an FA Cup, which sort of put a band-aid over the gaping wound that was United. And then obviously it ended up falling apart. And it's just got worse since then, hasn't it? It's just got continuously worse since then. And I just don't see where the let-up is. I really don't see where there's the light at the end of the tunnel anymore.
AG507 saying might be playing mind games for Spurs on injury updates. What do you think?
That is a hell of a fucking game to play, man. Jesus.
Hell of a mind game to say AMAD's out for the rest of the season. Mainoo's out for a couple of weeks, and Ugarte's a doubt as well. I mean, that would be the biggest smoke screen you've ever seen in your life. Even Ollie wouldn't have been capable of that. I remember sometimes Ollie would say certain things about Martial or Rashford before a game, and then they'd start on the weekend. You'd be like, what the fuck? But I don't see Amarin as that type of guy. Anytime you've seen Amarin in the press, it's always been real kind of honesty and straightforward. So I don't see that personally. But look, we've got a game tomorrow. We're going to be live for it, pre-match and post-match. Despite whatever happens, win, loss, draw, we will always be here. But yeah, we'll be here for team news, which is definitely going to be interesting for both sides. It's almost like who can field an actual team will win at this point between both Tottenham and United. So we'll be live for the pre-match and post-match. Please do join us for that. And of course, if we do have any other breaking news.
Interesting when the teams come out and then we look back at our predicted 11s and just see how fucking different it is.
Yeah, it's just Amarin's got this puzzle now when he's like, looking at
none of these fit.
Both coaches are like, let's just go on, lads. Whoever can go out there. Anyone available in the crowd? Anyone?
No? Have we got 11 guys whose legs have not fallen off?
Yeah. Ericsson there with his fucking walking stick.
Yeah.
I can play.
Not you.
Like,
not you, Christian. Go away.
Sit down, Christian.
Put your blanket on and be quiet.
Pop a Werther's in your gob and shut up. In on the bench. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. We'll be live for the game tomorrow, people. Please do come and join us. I think, especially for a neutral, this game's going to be super, super interesting. For all reasons that we've already mentioned. So, I'll leave it at that, guys. A quick news update because it just broke literally in the last half an hour. If anything else breaks, we'll go live, so please do turn on the notification bell. But apart from that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. This has been me and Sam. This has been your breaking news show.